Told you guys I'm going to deliver on some prediction videos and just, speaking of some of the upcoming fights. Today we got Jermall Charlo taking on Hugo Centeno Jr. It's going to be on the Adrian Broner and Jesse Vargas card out there in the Brooklyn Barclays Center. This Saturday, April 21st, we back in the building. It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic. This is going to be a straight prediction video. It's not going to be a breakdown, not a traditional breakdown video. Just straight prediction. I've been watching Hugo Centeno Jr. last few weeks, looking at some of his film. Of course, I'm familiar with Jermall Charlo. 26-0, 20 knockouts. Hugo 26-1, 14 KOs. I thought he was going to lose the J-Rock fight till he copped out with the cut, and they said it's Bacon in that fight. It went to a no contest. J-Rock was clearly beating the shit out of him way back when. And, both of these are probably two of the tallest middleweights out there. Hugo's listed at 6'1.5". Jermall Charlo's listed at 6'1", but I'm hearing he's more like 6'2". Him and Hugo about the same height. Melantez Fox is probably the tallest middleweight, like at 6'4", whatever it may be. But the thing about it is, Jermall Charlo is powerful and tall. Hugo is slender, and he's more of that elastic whipping, type of fighter that kind of whips with his punches, kind of some cracking power. He's a good puncher, but he's far from a seasoned fighter. He's from Oxnard, California. Obviously, Charlo's right from outside of Houston, I think like Richmond or some, Texas. But Hugo, if you haven't seen him fight before, he's tall. He moves pretty well. Got okay hand speed, okay jab. He knocked the Lima out with a big left hook. He could punch a little bit. He really can. He could box a little bit as well. But he's very, very stiff, and he's very, very fundamentally challenged. And when I say fundamentally challenged, he squares up a lot. A lot. He gets peppered with jabs, power jabs, quick jab, off-speed jab, whatever you want to say. He get hit with every jab. And like I say, square up a lot. He drop his hands. He's a sucker for a left or right hook. But his height saves him in most of the fights. But he can't sustain his distance. He gives up his distance. Guys are able to walk in and touch him up a little bit. He put the earmuffs on. He'll move his head sometime and trying to slip and dip punches. But for the most part, if he ain't dictating the pace and being offensive and holding his ground, if he hold his ground a little bit and push forward a little bit more and really sit down on his punches and generate power, I think he'd be a better fighter. But like I said, fundamentally he leaves a lot to be desired. For Jermall Charlo, obviously this is for a WBC interim title belt. Be the interim title of the Triple G's WBC 160-pound belt, which he didn't have to throw a punch to get it. He was given the belt. But with Charlo, like I said, he's learned to be a well-rounded boxer. This dude used to be a plotter. Used to get knockouts, walk guys on, knock them out, walk them down, knock them out. Excuse me. Now he's kind of learning to put it all together, be more defensive, responsible. We remember the counter uppercut he hit J-Rock with. He got a good left hook, a good jab, a good right hand, good 1-2. He can mix the right hook in there. Obviously, he's a good counter puncher. We've seen that versus J-Rock. He's becoming a more of an improved fighter. For him, it's just about getting upper echelon elite fights. That's what it is with him. We not going to really know his weaknesses for real because Hugo's already accepted defeat. Took in defeat from Saluki, who's fighting Danny Jacobs April 28th. And I felt like he was going to get his ass whooped by J-Rock as well. So for Charlo, it's up to people to expose his weaknesses. He showed versus Austin Trout that, they say he was weight drained in that fight, that, he can box. He can box. He's just more than power. He showed with J-Rock, he built on the Austin Trout win because that was his first legit win, in my opinion. He hadn't fought anybody up to that point. And versus J-Rock, he showed that, he got confidence from the Trout fight and winning his title versus K9. And I think that's when he stepped into his own and become a good fighter. But for him, like I said, he's a good athlete. He's strong, at middleweight. At 6'1", 6'2", he's strong. He's an oak tree. Hugo is like a leaf, like a tree branch or something. He can thump, he can punch, he can box. Ronnie Shields is really molding him into a good all-around fighter. His weaknesses is just, obviously, fighting elite level competition. And when he steps up to elite competition, which this fight I don't believe is elite level competition, I think we'll start seeing some of the flaws in his game. We'll start to see if he got a jaw when he fight a big puncher. We'll start to see, what he does when he behind on the cards, or he dealing with some adversity, that if he can make adjustments. We seen he can stay focused versus Trout. So, can Hugo win this fight? Yeah, but I don't see it happening. I think I'll give him a 20% chance. I think that's being nice. But like I said, he a talented fighter too. He makes a lot of mistakes, and if he fundamentally just works on himself, and I even break down film of Jermall Charlo, just looks at how he squares up, looks, if he sits down and pushes forward on his punches a little bit more and stop, boxing on the back foot, mix in the front foot, the back foot boxing. He's a good athlete. He got good footwork. He throws good punches. He just squares up. He needs to be coached up and cleaned up. But Charlo, he has flaws as well. He has flaws, and it's up to Hugo to expose those flaws. But at the end of the day, I think Jermall Charlo is just going to be too strong for him. I look for 7th round stoppage. I think Hugo going to have his moments in this fight because, like I said, he's a talented fighter. But I look for Jermall Charlo to end it, left hook, right hand combination, or 1-2. Because, Hugo is a sucker for a jab. That head don't really move out the middle. And I look for Charlo to be aggressive and go for the kill early. But I look for Hugo to have some success. But like I said, he squares up. He does a lot of fundamentally things wrong. He don't really move his head off the spot. I look for Charlo to eventually walk him down and stop him, possibly throwing the towel style TKO. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow with the Boxing Clinic. Y'all know what it is. Got another prediction video coming tomorrow. We go.